Hey guys, it's Trevor, and today we are doing an overnight on the Potawatomi Trail in southern Michigan. So I started here. Normally the trail goes clockwise here, goes up, around, back down. We're going to be staying here in the Blind Lake area, but because I'm short on time, I started at 7 and now I'm working my way backwards. I took this shortcut here, so I skipped about 1.5 to 2 miles of trail there, past this sweet stone fireplace. I'm currently at sign 4, and then I'm just doing this today from 4 to 12. You can see Pickerel Lake is still frozen over. I wouldn't go out on it, but still covered in ice. Not too bad though. It's warm today. It's like 45 out right now, so I'll take that. So I'm coming up on Dead Lake from a spur trail that's not marked and it's not on the map, but it's a little side trail that kind of goes around this lake down here, which is Dead Lake. The real trail kind of goes up back that way around that hill and then down to the lake, kind of on the other side of that hill. So from this spur trail, we've got about 2 miles to go to camp. Yeah, this is a pretty easy trail. I'm pretty familiar with it. I've hiked it many times. If you watched my Waterloo Pinckney Trail video, you would have seen me on this trail at some point in that video, right near the end. But usually I just kind of day hike it. It's kind of a nice, it's 17.9 miles for the loop. So it's day hikeable, and there's also a shorter loop that I think is around 13 miles that you could do. But yeah, it's kind of a nice spur trail. I like this side of Dead Lake. The other trail kind of comes down and goes along the other edge of this lake. Or this one, especially this time of year, you've got this nice little view of the lake. We put in a fancy new sign for the Waterloo Pinckney. This is, I guess, the actual mile 30. The fake mile 30 is back that way. Back up there. Alright, this is the highest point on the Potawatomi. Pretty cool area. So it's just like a quick, maybe 1/4 mile to 1/2 mile downhill into camp at Blind Lake. I'm gonna set up and yeah, enjoy this view for a minute though, because you don't get to see this in any other season except this, so it's nice. Even though there's trees in the way, it's still pretty good. Like a swamp down there that I've never seen. And we've made it to Blind Lake Campground. Here is some rules and stuff. Emergency information, state land rules, tornado stuff, thunderstorm stuff. I like this stuff right here. Get inside a home or hardtop automobile. All right, lit. They got a porta potty over there. It's not really a porta potty. It's actually really nice. They redid it, I think, last fall. It's like brand new. Anyway, we are right here in Site 9. In my opinion, the best site here, because it's a little farther away from the trail, which basically runs through the middle of this campground. And you could fit like 7 tents in this spot if you really wanted to. I believe it's limited to parties of 6, but it's a pretty flat and open area. And then just off your porch is Blind Lake. Now the best spot for Blind Lake, to be on the water would be Site 3, because it's right on the beach. But it's not the biggest site in the world, and it's right next to the trail / the route to get water. So you'll end up having a lot of traffic. Personally, I like this site, Site 9, which I feel like this fire ring has moved slightly, but I could be wrong. Actually, I almost know it moved. Alright, so this is camp all set up. Wanted to get some footage before the sunset happens in a couple minutes. You can see the new tent there. That is the Z-Pax Plexamid. I'm trying out downsized from the duplex just because I don't need a 2-person tent for 1 person. This holds all my stuff and me just fine. I've even got 2 quilts in there right now just in case I get a little chilly. There's a little dry bag on the outside of the tent that I'm actually using for my clothes bag, because I brought a ton of extra clothes for this trip. But yeah, sun's about to set. I'm gonna eat some dinner and some tuna and some bars, maybe a little peanut butter. Pretty simple. But yeah, gonna get that going, and we'll see you in the morning. All right, it is the morning. Low temperature last night was 24, according to my little thermometer that I bring with me. A little chillier than the forecast. I think it's like right around 30 was the forecast. But with this ice cube that I'm sleeping next to, I figured it would have gotten a little bit colder. Yeah, I was warm throughout the night. I didn't get to sleep until like probably 1 a.m., but got up about 7:30. It's about 8 o'clock now. I'm starting to get stuff packed up. Gonna eat some breakfast and then head out on the trail for the morning. Oh, that is cool. I've never lived on a lake, so this is new to me, these sounds. But that was awesome. At first I'm like, what is happening? Oh. Cool though. All right, it is about 10 o'clock. I'm gonna head out now. Try and beat some of this rain this afternoon. Other than the cool sounds in the morning, pretty uneventful night. I love this time of year because you can sleep without earplugs in, because there's not bugs and stuff just making noise all night. The coyotes were out howling. It was basically a full moon, I think, last night. Or maybe in like a couple days. It was close. I'd have to double check and see. But yeah, coyotes were out early, and then they didn't make any noise. And if they did in the morning like they usually do, I slept right through it. Woke up about 7:30. Got out of the tent about 8:30 and packed up and just kind of been hanging out for last hour or so. But yeah, I'm gonna get on the trail now. I did want to mention before I leave this morning, so they updated the outhouse here to this nice like metal thing last year. It's pretty legit. But if If you look at that up there, they added a solar panel, which is crazy because it's now lit up. There's like a light on the inside of this thing. So they added a light to the inside of the outhouse. It's hilarious. But anyway, super wilderness camping, the luxuries. So within the last year, I mean, they resurfaced all the picnic tables here and put in a new outhouse. So it's really well maintained. I just wish people would appreciate the maintenance that they do here. I mean, I was walking by a bench over here, not this one, but the one beyond it, and somebody's already lit it on fire, like a burn spot. Like, what are you doing that you need to burn a bench? But anyway, I'm gonna get going. We're continuing the trail backwards today, and yeah, it's gonna be a good one. The trail conditions out here are pretty excellent. I mean, the ground's still frozen, so at least in this area. Once it thaws out, it's probably pretty muddy, but I mean, yesterday I was surprised at how little of snow there was, and little of mud, really. There's only a few spots. And then today, it's just no snow, only a couple icy corners, but yeah, spring is coming. And I'm fortunate enough that this is pre-mud. So it'll probably take a few more weeks, warmer days, for the mud to dry out. But so far this trail's been really nice. I ran into a mountain biker who is also going the opposite way. I guess he is helping the guy who runs the DTE trail, which is one of the mountain bike trails just off to the west of here. He's helping recommend to the DNR on when to open this trail to mountain bikers. So, I don't know. I told him what I saw yesterday. It wasn't muddy. I mean, I was out 50-degree weather. There's only a few spots. It wasn't bad. Got the bridge over this canal by Half Moon Lake, or whatever this thing is, river. Little update. So I'm leaving the split and I'm taking the shortcut because it is already 11:30 and I don't have much time before I have other obligations this afternoon, so I got to get out of here by 3. And so it's about 9 miles if I don't take the shortcut, as opposed to 6 miles if I do take the shortcut. So that's what I'm doing, so I can get out in time and get off to some other things I have going today. Man, should have left camp earlier, but you know, it's cold. Wanted to stay in the tent. And if you'll look off to your left, you'll notice an old farm. A lot of the land that makes up the Waterloo Recreation Area and Pinckney State Recreation Area were old farms that went bankrupt in the 30s. And then the state eventually took over the land from the banks. But it's kind of cool how the fields are still kind of here. We got some geese out there living their dreams. Okay, we've made it to a lookout, which isn't much of a lookout, but that's basically it. I've made it back to Trailhead, so that's going to do it for this trip. Kind of sliding on mud right here, so probably not a good idea to do this outro. But it did start raining a little bit, not enough to put my rain jacket on. Just as I was finishing up the last mile. We did about 7 today, so fairly easy day, but not the easiest because it's our first trip of the year after a few months of doing nothing. But yeah, thanks for joining me, and I'll see you on the next one.